All right, welcome to the weekly Wednesday Team Prosperity meeting. This week, we're going to go into the 4 stages of your business. And once you understand, how to take an aerial view of your business and move through those stages, mastering them as both an agent and then as a manager, it helps you to understand, okay, where am I now? Where am I trying to get to? And what do I need to do through that process to make sure that, I get to that end destination that I, kind of pointed out and envisioned when I first came in. So it's a process, it's a trip, and you have to understand at different stages of that trip, you're going to need different things. You're going to need different infrastructure. We'll provide that. You'll need to improve your skill sets. And you'll, like I said, just need to break down your business into the different stages so that you understand what's important to me now, what's important to me later, what can I grow into, but what do I need to concentrate on right now? We are going to into, the back half of this year, the second half playbook. We're going to start working with some of you guys. We'll also be starting a new 12-week year. August, September, October, those 3 months right there, that 90-day run can be very, very important. It's a big part of the year for a lot of industries, including ours. So when we look at that, I'm going to try to schedule it to make sure that that 12-week year encompasses that time. And then we'll have, sign up sheets, lead in information. And if you're interested, you can start by just reading the book, picking up the audio book, listening to it. This is a great way for someone to come in and really work on themselves and develop a time management system that far exceeds what your competition can do in very compressed time frames. Another thing that we continually want to work on, guys, is no matter what stage of the business that you're in, you want to work on disqualifying. And this is one of the most important things that you can do to protect your time, because time needs to be spent with the people that are in your persona, that you can help, that you're looking to help, that are willing to take the next action steps. Everybody else, it's just not a fit. So the quicker you can disqualify those people, the easier your day gets in terms of not being overworked. Remember, we're not just working as hard as we can, we're also working smart, and that means protecting our time. So last week we talked about the appointment funnel. The appointment sales funnel is a marketing strategy that's extremely effective. In an appointment funnel, the aim is to bring that visitor into your system, that ecosystem, whatever you've developed. And then by understanding their pain points, through what we do and schedule meetings, we convert them from prospects to leads to eventually into buying customers. Remember, all of this stuff is always logged in for any partner to go back. We try to organize it in terms of the definition of the meeting so they know exactly what the main point of that meeting is. So what's happening this week? Like we said, we're going to talk about the 4 stages of your business, kind of introduce what they are, why they're important, and how they kind of feed our work on the backs of the last stage. So your 4 stages of your business model that you have to understand and you have to master and surround yourself with people that can do the same. Marketing. Remember, marketing is the lifeblood of your business. If there's no leads, there is no business. Sales. Sales creates kind of like the heart of your organization. It's going to pump that lead generation through, create outcomes. That's revenue and income recognition. That's the growth that we're looking for. And then management. Management's the ability to take you from an active position where it's all on your shoulders, starting to help, train, support, coach, mentor other people so that you can build an organization versus just a practice. A lot of people are self-employed. They have a practice. They're probably the only person that works in the practice versus building an actual business where you're managing other people. And that ultimately leads to the 4th stage of the business, which is the most lucrative part of the business model. And that's distribution. When you reach distribution, you got in our business model, you've got a portfolio of digital agencies that are all acting independently from you. You probably still have a business relationship, a personal relationship, but you've done the things on the front side, the investment of time, energy, resources to make sure that office runs independently. And we've got some systems of checks and balances to make sure that everybody in different offices is performing well, having the same approach, being systematic. So marketing, like I said, marketing is the lifeblood of your business. If nobody knows you're in business, then you aren't going to have any business. If there's no leads coming in, there's no sales being made. So understand that from like a physical location, Marketing is going to get people in the front door, right? To take a look at what you have to offer. So when you look at marketing, you have to understand that we are a digital marketing organization. So we lie heavily on that side of the fence. However, don't neglect the value or the potential value of the traditional marketing. So you can take a look and you understand the difference between digital and traditional. Both can bring value. We always talk about in marketing, you test things. If it doesn't work, kill it. If it does work, continue to work it until it becomes stale and doesn't work. One of the things that we can do in our business model is we can blend both sides. So you can have traditional approach that leads to the digital marketing answer. So for example, if I'm sending out something in the mail, physical mail, and it's directing people to go grab guides, get informational ebooks at a website, that's a good blend of traditional and digital marketing. So understand both have value. Don't neglect one or the other. Try to make a blend of both. And then the more marketing that you have, the more lead generation that you have, the easier it's going to be to build a business for yourself and teach other people how to do it. At the end of the day, there's going to be a kind of conversion in your business. In the beginning, you're probably going to have to do a lot of outbound marketing to generate that interest, make those contact attempts. And then you want to learn your business. You want to learn more about the marketing. You want to learn more about infrastructure that you can put out to do the opposite. Create inbound marketing. People that have already been exposed to something, they have general interest and they're asking for more, requesting something, whatever it might be. So if we continue to do only outbound marketing, we never learn how to create inbound marketing, it becomes a grind. So understand that, yes, in the beginning, it's going to be unbalanced to the outbound side. You get a balance, and then the eventual imbalance will be to the inbound side. So if you have a lot of inbound marketing inquiries, that's a good sign for your business. It's all about the activity. Marketing is about activity. And once you understand basically you're in the contact business, when you're in the marketing stage of your business, it's a lot easier to understand what to do, because I'm not out there trying to convince, rebuttal, pitch, sell, none of those things. I'm out there, identifying people and then helping them understand, hey, if you want to do something, we've got free guides, we've got free education, we've got ways, strategies, concepts that we can teach you. But once again, it's about making sure that people know that you're actually in business and that you're helping people. And then probably most important in that communication, why you do what you do. So like I said, the communication comes from a lot of different areas. If I'm speaking to somebody in person, if I'm emailing, texting, sending a social media message, placing an online ad, it's really all about the same thing. And like I said, making sure people know you have solutions to problems that people have right now. The solutions are legitimate. Other people are finding success with them, and how you start the process in terms of the value proposition on the front side. Remember, it's the process. Communication is just passing that information. And so it's not just about understanding what you're sending out from your perspective. It's also about understanding what is received and the interpretation on the other side. So from one person to another, verbal or nonverbal means, what are you sending out? What's being received on the other side? And then what is that interpretation? Is it the same that you are asking for or are expecting in the relay? And then 5 tips for effective communication. When you really look at letting people know that you're in business and talking to people, marketing, and sometimes, like I said, networking is some of the easiest ways that you can possibly teach people about your business. By showing interest in other people, you build interest in what you do. So when you're effectively communicating, you're communicating relentlessly. You're always talking, you're always communicating, you're always getting that information out. But you're being, you're simplified and being direct in your process. You're listening and encouraging input. Remember, part of that process of online is build, engage, and sell. If you're not engaging, if you're not looking for input, if you're not asking for opinions and communication from the other side, you're missing out on the engagement part. And that's a big part of being able to take it from the building to the selling at the appropriate time. And illustrate through stories. It's not all about, facts tell, stories sell, right? So yes, we have education and we're very good at what we do, but we have to make sure that we illustrate through stories. People learn through stories way better than just bullet point facts. And then affirm with actions. We're obsessed with action steps to help our clients, to help our partners, to help ourselves. In marketing, it's an easy way to understand your business flow when you understand this concept. The more contacts that you have, the more contracts that are going to be signed. So the more people that you're getting in front of daily, not with sales approaches, but just getting in front of with information, getting in front of with value propositions, getting in front of with online education. The more contacts that you have, the more contracts are going to be signed, and contracts equal revenue and income for your organization. Marketing's about the power of being disciplined. It's not about the starting and the stopping. So imagine we had a physical location and we never advertised, or we were never open. Well, we're not going to do much business. Same thing here. We can't market hard for a week, neglect marketing for 3 weeks, come back. The continuous rotation of doing what we need to do through the marketing stage is going to fill up our calendars and teach other people that come in our organization how to fill up their calendars. Remember, discipline equals dollars, and that's very, very important to understand in the marketing stage. Next up is sales. We talked about if marketing is the lifeblood that creates the lead, sales is the heart that kind of pumps out the outcomes. And we know that if we have enough lead generation and we're organizing that lead generation around the right personas, that if we do what we need to do in the sales department, the education department, that we're going to create revenue and income. Our partners are going to be happy, organizational growth, everything's flowing in the right direction. So like I said, education leads to sales, which is good because we're not having to season somebody to be a salesperson that sells something that nobody wants. We're educating people into understanding new mindsets. And through that education, we're helping them make buying decisions. So it's a lot easier than trying to hard sell somebody when you are educating. You're helping them understand, hey, you might not understand the rules. Once you do, you can make alternate decisions. We can help you with, technology, coaching, whatever it is that you possibly need. And remember, when you're educating people, if you've built a persona and you're getting around the same type of people time and time and time again, it's going to be easier for you to preemptively understand a lot of the problems they're facing, a lot of the goals or motivating factors they have, and preemptively overcome some of those challenges and obstacles that you typically see before you even encounter them in the future. It's all about relationships. The education, yes, we have to learn, what is the education? What is the transitions in those presentations? How do we put our personality into that presentation? But it's also about building relationships. And you have to understand that what we offer gets somebody to an end destination. What is that end destination? What is it they're trying to accomplish? Because the education with the technology means nothing if you haven't done the discovery. So sales is a lot about being the discovery period. And like we discussed, that discovery period can do two things: help protect your time. If you discover early on they're disqualified, great. But it also helps you for the qualified prospects that are going to become your clients. It helps you understand how to help them get what they want. And once you understand that, the education combined with the discovery helps you build that bridge. And then once, like I said, you understand and identify that consumer or that client need, what is it that we're trying to accomplish? What is it that we need to do or that we want to do? Then we can map out the requirements. Okay, we want to get here. You're here now. You want to get here in the future. How are we going to get there? What are you willing to do to get there? How bad do you want it? And then secondarily, where do we fit in with our products, our services, our relationships that we're trying to build? And then once you understand the requirements and you understand the need they're trying to accomplish, now you can present a solution. And you can do so in a confidently and persuasive way because now you've done everything. You've done the education, you've done the discovery, you understand how what we do is going to help them accomplish what they're trying to accomplish. So now it's just building the bridge, building the pathway, helping them understand, yes, we can get here. This is what needs to be done. This is how I fit in. Does it make sense? Are we going to make a commitment to each other? Words have power. Words have power in marketing. Words have power in sales. Words have power in management. Everything that you do, it's what you say. It's what you don't say. The kind of questions that you ask. The elaboration that you request from people as they expose some information. Remember, it's not about you talking. Sometimes it's about you being quiet and let the other side talk. when you're doing a discovery, you want to get some elaboration. Why are they trying to do this? Why are they trying to avoid this? And then through that process, you're going to uncover a number of different things. The more information that you get from the other side, the more opportunity you have to uncover that problem, motivating factor, whatever it might be. And then from that point, once you have that, now we can introduce a solution. Now we can introduce the next action step. And then when you handle objections, a lot of us look at objections as like a roadblock or an obstacle. So if you look at it that way, you have to find a way over, under, around that to get to the end destination. I would rather us look at objections and kind of welcome them. You know, rephrase the objection in your head when you hear it as, hey, this is a buying question. And if I can answer this clearly, concisely, articulately, in a way that makes sense to them, once I've handled the objections, once I've answered all the buying questions, it makes room for decision time. So it's a really easy process once we understand what we're doing, guys, because if we've done our job with the education, we've done our job with the discovery, we've made the solution, and we've defined the action step, now it's decision time. And one of the most ludicrous statistics that you'll ever see is this one right here. 85%, guys, 85% of interaction between sales representatives and potential buyers end without the representative ever asking for the sale. Think about that. Think about the process. Think about how much these people don't value their time. And really, they don't value the client as well, because if you have something worthwhile to the client, you should feel like that they need this, that you don't need the sale, but they need this. And they're going to be in a worse off position going forward if they don't make this, you know, next step with you. So understand, if you've done the education, you've done discovery, and you get down and you're too chicken to ask for the sale, you're not valuing your time, you're not valuing your client's future. So understand, if you've done your job, it's good, and it's a good time to go ahead and close that deal, ask for the sale. You've overcome the objections. We're here, you need to do it. And then finally, if you've done your job through all this process and you've helped this person out, well, don't let that vein stop there. Who do you know? Remember, this is another crazy statistic. 91% will give referrals if you ask. If you've done your job, provided value, solved a problem for them, who else do you know that needs to know this information? 91% will give referrals if they're asked. Only 11% ask. So once again, you are either hurting or helping your business by understanding some of these things that either, you know, that are not being done or reluctantly being done. You need to reframe this in your brain to understand this is revenue, this is income, this is growth, this is going to be agency build out. It starts with me. And that leads to management. So once I understand the process of lead generation, sales, education, closing deals, then I need to work on management, because management's going to take this from all being off my shoulders, right? Now I've got people surrounding me that are doing the same thing, but once again, they're coming in. What do they need? They need assistance, they need training, they need support, they need to be coached and mentored. You get paid to do that, but it's another part of your business, another stage of your business that you need to understand and know going down the road that you need to grow into if you want to access that stream of income. So training, when people come in, they don't know anything. They don't know how to do anything. They don't really know much about what we're trying to do. They understand, you know, the vision they were sold by the recruiter, by the person who brought them in, but they don't really understand how to put it all together. So a lot of the upfront stuff is just basic training support, showing them around, answering their questions, holding their hand basically for a period of time until you get to a point where they've got the basics down. You're going to move from training and supporting to coaching and mentoring. And coaching and mentoring is about just helping them, you know, making sure to get them to those next steps, to those next plateaus that you guys have ironed out and envisioned. So it goes from not, you know, having to do everything, basically to just assisting. And that process from, you know, basically holding their hand, them being very, you know, dependent on you, to coaching a mentor, which is interdependent. And then they go off and they're dependent of you. But like I said, at these stages, the time, energy, resources going in, you're going to be paid on the backside if you create effective offices. You have to make time for your people. If your people call you, contact you, and you're not getting back to them, or when you're on the phone with them or online, you seem hurried, you don't want to answer their questions, you seem irritated, that's not going to create an environment where people are going to want to continue to come to you and ask questions. People don't get their questions asked, they start to drift, they quit. So you have to make sure that you understand training. We talked about this before. Recruiting a qualified partner into your organization does not stop when they get in. It's another 90-day process after that to help them. You've got to train, support, and you got to communicate openly with confidence and respect. You're bringing the right people in. They're going to need your help for a period of time. Understand that. Don't create the lost colony where just people come in. You have no idea after 2 weeks, even the name of the person that you brought in. And creating a positive work environment is very, very, very important. So yeah, we want competition and we want, things like that to inspire people, motivate people, but we also want to create a positive work environment where the information flowing, where the communication flowing is all designed to inspire and motivate. And then you value in your organization as a manager, you've got to have some set rules in terms of what you value, what you'll put up with, what you don't put up with. And remember, somebody can be a great salesman, but they can be like a bad apple for your organization. So understand what you expect and lay that out. Understand, we expect customer satisfaction, cultural diversity, positive environments, accountability, innovation, teamwork, quality results. Lay out what you expect, frame your conversations. It's a lot easier for people to understand what you expect when you lay it out versus never laying it out and having them, you expect them to understand what you didn't explain in the very first place. So this is what management looks like. You are helping, supporting other people in hopes that these people can come out and pay it forward, take over that role at some point in the future, because as they do, and as you're helping them set goals, they're getting through the different stages. You're working through the stages, they're working through the stages. And like I said, as they do, that creates like an independence from you. And they're no longer dependent or interdependent. They're out doing their own thing. And you'll need to help them on very little. Like I said, you probably still have a personal relationship, a business relationship, but you've done your job on the front side. And that includes helping support, coach, mentor, and helping them realize, draw those lines in the sand, set goals, help them reach those. The organizational goals that we have are just really a collection of individual goals. And then you also, as a manager, need to help on the front side as well as they come in, define what the future looks like. So what's the overall vision as they come in? And then as they come in, what's their individual vision? Because as you help them, recognize their vision, as you help them set goals, this is all creating that path to independence that we're looking for. And that's the last stage of the business. Once you reach the distribution stage, you have several offices, virtual sales teams, however that you want to look at it, working independently from you. And what that means in our business model is you've attained like a broker status or a broker contract. You're into the distribution stage now. Remember, management is one office, and inside that office, as you create independent offices that branch out, that's a broker, that's distribution. That's what this looks like right here. No longer do you have that one sales organization. You have many sales organizations operating under kind of one umbrella, but they're operating independently. But most importantly, as we'll see in just a minute, basically all doing the same thing. And once you understand the importance of being systematic, it becomes very easy to map out the distribution side of your business. So you have to have a system in place that creates growth, but also creates growth that somebody else can replicate, duplicate. That's one of the most important things that we can do in the distribution side is set up, like I said, systems of checks and balances, all of the stages that we've just gone through. There's systems within that stage to make sure that Office 1 is doing the same thing that Office 10, 15 is doing. And when you talk about growth, like we've been talking about, it has to look the same, no matter if it's from, a single point down to the distribution side. When you get systems in place and when you become duplicatable, you see a velocity to the growth on a national stage that you can never, ever, ever get in a fractured organization where different offices are doing different things. So you have to be duplicatable. Once you master the stages of your business and you become duplicatable, that's when you can actually start to back away from the business. And without your everyday input, without your everyday time, energy, resources going in, you still got sales coming in. You still got revenue recognition on a national basis. And that creates for us what's called an exit strategy. So those are the 4 stages of the business. Understand where you are right now, what you need to work on, and don't get too overwhelmed. If you're just starting, you don't have to worry about distribution right now. You need to know as it comes down the pipeline what to expect. You just need to work on the basics. You've got help. You lean on people until you don't need them anymore. And then the people start to lean on you.